Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. Um, wow. I think that's the key word we can say about the way SmackDown Live just went off the air just seconds ago. It's just wow. What on earth did we just witness? We got a lot to talk about. I know we definitely need to talk about that ending and now the status of the main event of WrestleMania just went. Did it just go out the window? Well, we'll get into that tonight because this was a very newsworthy show, to say the very least. But let's go right into it. We were from the Arrowhead Pond again in Anaheim, California. Well, the Honda Center, formerly known as the Arrowhead Pond. And we talked about, well, it started out in a promo segment from the brand new WWE Champion Bray Wyatt, interrupted by John Cena, interrupted by AJ Styles, and it then in turn turned itself into a historic main event for this show tonight, made by the general manager himself, Daniel Bryan, because John Cena implemented his rematch clause. AJ Styles implemented his rematch clause. And Daniel Bryan decided to do a triple threat for the title tonight. You know what? I'm going to say it. Segment of the night. This came off so good on TV. It came off so good for myself. I felt very energized after the way that they started the show here tonight, and it just came off strong. Kill two birds with one stone. Let Cena and AJ both implement their rematch clause. Let's get them out of the way right here, right now. Get it out of the way. On top of that, Daniel Bryan looks so good in this situation because of the fact that, hey, he's like, there's a conundrum. We got an issue. Let's settle in the ring. Let's settle it the way that we have always settled it on SmackDown Live. And that was really well done. Nice storyline progression. Nice setup. I can't say nothing bad whatsoever. I thought this was, to me, like I said, segment of the night. So with that said, Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend.
What else is there to say, MF? This was the segment of the night. Absolutely. I mean, and you made all the points for me. Getting the rematches out of the way early makes sense. The promos, I'll be honest, the promos were decent, not fantastic. There is a lot of interesting stuff planned for this show, so I was optimistic that the rest of the show was going to be the rocket buster that it usually is, and this segment was effective in setting the stage for an epic main event. I mean, that crowd. I think we found another IWC capital. I think we have found another one. Anaheim, California. I mean, they were, whoa. A "You Deserve It" chant for Bray Wyatt. The usual boo birds for Cena. The usual love for AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan, that speaks for itself. So, what else is there for me to say except this was the segment of the night because this was a wrestling heavy show. I mean, yeah, I think there were I think there was another in-ring segment on this show that was just as good. So, yeah. So, what else is there to say? I mean, you set up a main event that pleases the masses, which is always a good thing. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm game. So, like MF said, that was the segment of the night. No doubt about it. So, Dee Woodson, do you concur with all that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I concur with all that. And I'm not going to add anything to it. You guys said it all. So let's move on.
F, is your mic on or?
Did we lose Mikey?
I don't know. I don't hear him.
I don't either. And after my issues all week long, I was afraid it was me.
Yeah.
Gotta love the technical difficulties.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we lost our host.
Yeah, I think we have.
No, Mikey, we can't hear you.
No.
You're having my issues that I had the other day.
Indeed.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Guys, I don't know what the hell happened there.
You're having the same issues I'm having, I guess.
Either that or when I pulled the heads, I didn't think I pulled the headset off, but apparently it did, or when I hit the button, it kind of triggered something. I don't know. All right, so let's just dive right back in. Sorry about that, guys. I hate the fact that we had freaking dead air on this shit.
Valuable advertising airspace going by.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any advertising space for that to fly by. So,
well, that was part of a thing with Billy Joel on one of the Grammys one time. It's a old joke.
I know. Well, it was Well, and I know why. That happened. Actually, I know an interesting story about that too. So,
okay.
So we had was American Alphas versus the Ascension. Alphas win it. They cut. Then the Usos came out. They cut it a promo. After the match. So Anthony, why don't you take that part?
Well, I'll say it like this. This was a solid matchup here. I got to say this maybe was based on what I saw tonight. I probably would have to say second best fight of the night here. I would probably give it about 2.5 stars for the effort. I mean, they did a lot of the spots on Sunday, and they didn't have the suspense of the Usos beat down to add anything to the match. And then the Usos called out Alphas after the fight. So I think now we're finally going to get that long-awaited tag team championship big money feud with American Alpha and the Usos. I hope we get something between these two at WrestleMania. And but I really don't think that's I assume we're probably going to get something sooner rather than later. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But a solid match here. Ascension got a little more offense in as I expected, and hey, they got a good 11 minutes and 22 seconds to work. And what can I say except the Ascension definitely have gotten better over the last couple of weeks. But I think now that Alphas went over here and in a non-title match, it looks like the Ascension are probably back down to where they were before, and that's the bottom of the barrels. So Alpha Uso, here we come. That's all I can say on that. Big money tag feud at long last. About time. 2.5 stars, second best fight of the night. D.D. Whitson, what says you?
Totally agree.
Yes, I do too.
So that's about all I'm going to say about it. Let's off to you, Fletch.
All right. So, yeah, I agree about that with the ratings that you guys have hit up to this point. So, yeah, solid segment, no doubt about it. All right. So, we're just going to move on to the next thing. And, well, all right. This one kind of ended up being a segment, not an actual match. What happened was, well, you had was Carmella and James Ellsworth backstage. Dean Ambrose, basically, there was a little bit of a tit for tat going between the three of them. Daniel Bryan comes out and he's like, is there a problem? And Ambrose is like, you know what? I want to deal with this guy. I'm sick and tired of Ellsworth. I want to fight. I want to deal with them, end it once and for all. All right. Daniel Bryan's like, you know what? I guess I could do that. You know, we could set this baby up. All right. You want it? You got it. Tonight, James Ellsworth versus Dean Ambrose 1-on-1. So we get to the match. I think everything was going to be set it up. You know, Carmella and Ellsworth at ringside, waiting for Ambrose. Waiting for Ambrose. Where's Dean? Oh no, he got jumped by Baron Corbin. Corbin comes out, basically does a beatdown on him, and then throws him over the production crate, and yeah, some kind of pyro decided to show off. Really, dudes? First off, if you're gonna blow stuff up, blow shit up. Don't give me some prissy little, ooh, nice little effect on an explosion. Come on, SmackDown. I know you're not Monday Night Raw, so you probably don't have the same production value, but Jesus bleeping Christ, man, what the hell was that? So, do you guys want to talk about this as a segment? If you do, go. If you don't, then we'll just go on to next. It's up to you.
The only good thing about that was we got Mamma Mia out of Mauro Ranallo, and that's always a good thing. So that silly pyro. Let me just say it like this: the silly pyro effects when Ambrose went through a table with a cloth and some snacks on it was ridiculous. That's all there is to say on that. So I like what they're doing here. They're trying to set up an intercontinental feud between Ambrose and Corbin, which I think will work out. Again, we got a lot of time before Mania. Something could happen on TV. I still think we're going to get that wild and crazy ladder match that we've had for the last 2 years. That's just my guess. So that's pretty much all I can say about that, except the best part, like I said, the Mamma Mia by Mauro. Always fun. So Mamma Mia. Let's move on.
All right. And then the next thing we know, here we go again. Nikki Bella and Natalya, they're going right at it. They're going at each other. The two Hellcats decide they want to fight, and they fight in front of Daniel Bryan. Poor Daniel, man. I mean, his wife, Brie, could be giving birth any day now for their first child, and he's got to deal with his sister-in-law and Natalya, and they're trying to tear each other apart. Security broke it up. Daniel Bryan's like, you know what? Okay, I've had it. I had it up to here with both yous. So you want to settle this? We're going to settle this once and for all. Next week, SmackDown Live. You two ladies are going to fight. Falls count anywhere in the building. Daniel, thank you, my brother. Thank you for setting this fight up. This rivalry has been, I'm going to even admit it, this rivalry has been pretty good. But it needs to come to an end. Something has to end. Something has to give. Like we said, we got something. It looks like Nikki Bella is set up for a WrestleMania. And some way, somehow, we got to start planting the seeds for that WrestleMania fight. Hopefully, this is the final blow-off of Nikki versus Natalya so that we could shift to Maryse, Nikki, Miz, and Cena for WrestleMania. Even though I know there's a lot of time and you can build it any way you can, but they have to start planting the seeds one way or another. They did a little bit. They started it a little bit at the Elimination Chamber where Maryse, unfortunately, blonde bombshell was at the wrong place at the wrong time, but I love this. I think this was the right thing to do. Let's settle it once and for all. And, I'ma stay. Daniel, I'ma stay. Do a little more of that Tai Chi. Keep being that Zen. Brother, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. So, I got you. And there was this heel promo by Dolph Ziggler. I'm not even gonna, I'm leaving it alone. That's for another day. What we're not gonna leave alone was a very good match, a very good, hard-hitting, in-your-face return fight from the Elimination Chamber. It was Mickie James one more time, and this time around, it was Mickie James getting the victory. A little bit of a fraudulent way of ending the fight, but Mickie got the win after it looked like she suffered a shoulder injury. She was saying that she dislocated the shoulder, everything else. The referee was going to call for a doctor, telling Becky to back off. The next thing you know, boom, kick to the face. She was not hurt at all. She faked it. 1, 2, 3. Even the referee was disgusted with the way that match ended. I loved it. This has to be Anthony Florio. As your heel commentator, you must relish this. For me, third best fight of the night. I could even go as far as to call it second best fight of the night. This was really good. I'm going to say about 3.25 stars for me. So, Anthony, what says you?
I gotta make a correction on my end. That Alpha and Ascension fight is the third best for me. This was the second best fight of the night for me. And I agree with MF's rating here, 3 to 3.25 stars. I like this match much better than what we saw on Sunday in the Chamber pay-per-view. It wasn't without its hiccups, but they delivered a competitive match that told a good story. Becky was getting the better of Mickie using her superior agility and speed, and Mickie ended up taking the match with veteran guile and trickery. It would have made more sense for the finish on Sunday as well. So, yeah. The heel commentary, I probably would have had a moment with that, no doubt about it. I would have said brilliant. I would have done the brilliant like Jesse Ventura used to do. So that's all I can say on that. So, yeah, 13 minutes, 11 seconds. Mickie gets her payback. So, I don't know. I mean, are we going to get more from these two? We'll see. But for right now, this was the second best fight. I agree with MF's rating, 3 to 3.25 stars, no doubt about it. So, Didi Woodson, did the ladies impress you here?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we took a page out of the old books of the veteran, playing injured and you know, Mickie did a real good performance on that. But yeah, I mean, it was very good match. That I mean, they brought all the stops out, and I mean, they took it, you know, head on, and I'm giving it a solid 3.5. So yeah, second best fight of the night. So Fletch, let's go on.
And then we were followed by the Crown. Well, she was trying to have a glorious moment for herself. The new Smackdown Women's Champion, Naomi, and she actually reported it. And this is one thing that totally like blindsided all of us. None of us saw this. It wasn't even in the dirt sheet. Apparently, she suffered an injury after the title win. Um, we saw her. It looks like she had a little bit of knee brace on. Uh, Behold, Alexa Bliss decides to show up, talking about how lucky she was, the pressure being the champion, how, she's dreamt up the injury, so she couldn't measure up to Alexa, and said that, she'll have her opportunities. And apparently, we got ourselves a women's title rematch set for next week on SmackDown Live. Give me your thoughts about this.
Yes. Let me see. Let me check my notes here. All right. This was the second best segment of the night here. Alexa Bliss is a much more fully realized character than Naomi, and it showed here, as Naomi didn't really have a lot to say in the face of an avalanche of insults. They should work on giving her something else to talk about besides the glow and snatching people bald. It's all very one note. But I do like the idea of the rematch here. Next week, it looks like the ladies are taking center stage next week here, and it's about time because we haven't seen that since. Well, I think we've only had that once when Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch had the cage match. But other than that, I mean, we haven't really had a match or matches with the ladies to take center stage on SmackDown Live. We saw it last night on Monday Night Raw in that instant classic with Charlotte Flair and Bayley. We saw that. I mean, that's like the fourth or fifth time that the ladies have main evented Monday Night Raw. The SmackDown ladies have only done it once. I got a feeling one of these two matches with the ladies next week, with this women's title match with Alexa and Naomi, and the Falls Count Anywhere bout with Nikki Bella and Natalya, which, by the way, I love the stipulation, and those two and all of these girls have a long way to go until WrestleMania. And as far as Nikki and Natty go, I mean, them brawling all over the arena next week will give them a chance to set up their next feuds with some unexpected encounters, and then we'll see what happens with Alexa and Naomi going forward after next week. So that's really all I can say on that. So second best segment of the night, and I gotta say Alexa Bliss shined here. So nothing left for me to say here except Edie Whitson, how'd the girls do here?
They did very well. I was very impressed with how it went. I do agree Naomi does need to work a little bit more on her speeches because they are getting very repetitive. But I have nothing negative to say about it, so let's move on.
All right, and it leads us into the main event of the evening for the WWE Championship. The new champion, Bray Wyatt, puts the title on the line against both John Cena and AJ Styles in a triple threat match. The winner of the bout in approximately 17 minutes and 21 seconds, and still the WWE Champion, Bray Wyatt. And what was very telling was after the match was over, Randy Orton came out and he said, and now I'm going to quote Orton here. He said, He told Wyatt that he won the Royal Rumble and all the privileges that came with it. But told Wyatt, as long as he is the master and he was the servant, meaning Orton, he refuses to face him at WrestleMania. He pledged his undenying allegiance to Wyatt. Orton dropped to his knees, and Wyatt said, and I quote, he had the keys to the kingdom. One other side note, before the match got going, Luke Harper showed up and jumped Bray Wyatt. Wow. And I know Dee Dee Woodson, you had a WTF at the end of this. I think we're still kind of buzzing over the way that the show ended. But you lead off, my dear, on the main event of the evening.
Yeah, I'm still with the WTF. What did we just see? Do we have a main event for SmackDown at WrestleMania or not now? I think what got me was Orton, pretty much bowing in front of Wyatt, saying that he's pledging his undying allegiance to Bray, and I'm like, okay, he's refusing to face him at WrestleMania. Okay, how's this going to play out? Are we going to have Shane and Daniel coming out in the future to address this, or are they just going to drop it, or what are we going to, how is this going to play out? I mean, this is a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen any craziness like this before. As far as the match, it was my match of the night. I'm giving it 4.5 stars. Liked how Luke Harper came out of nowhere to attack Bray Wyatt before the match even started, and the looks on AJ and Cena's face as they're watching this happen from the ring. But I think after the match was the shocker. I mean, Orton coming out just to do the face-to-face with Wyatt and saying that, just I'm still speechless on it. I don't know what to say about it, so I'll let you guys tackle it now. So, Florio, it's yours.
Doesn't it go to MF next, or did he share his thoughts on it?
I'll share my thoughts on it. This was an amazing fight of the night, no doubt about it. I think what it is right now, you don't really need to throw the firing squad yet. Not yet. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what the heck was that? Relax. We got a long way to go before we get to WrestleMania. At least 6 weeks worth. So maybe let Orton, his allegiance with Bray is rock solid, golden. Everything's going to be fine. Later, the cracks are going to start to form. That's when you're going to start to see, the cracks in the armor. When that happens, that's going to make Orton start thinking to be loyal to Bray. Do I really want to be in that situation? Do I want to get that far, that deep in? Because at that point, remember, I hold that opportunity to fight in the main event at WrestleMania. And that's going to be the thing that I think the fans are going to want to see, want to talk about, whatever. Unless Daniel or Shane kind of puts the screws on Orton and says, if you refuse to fight, if you lose this opportunity, we will give it to somebody else. If that happens, then all bets are off. Then everything goes haywire. But I don't know what the play is here. It's kind of a little bit of a monkey wrench. I think it's more of a setup. I think Orton wants to be a little more shrewd because, come on, it's Randy Orton. He's been in the main event of WrestleMania before. He's fought in the big fights. He's won, some big matches. And if you remember, the last time he was in Orlando, he pulled off one of the biggest heists in WrestleMania history. Nobody had him winning that fight, and he won it all. He got immortalized that night. He was made at WrestleMania 24. So, what's his future going to be? We'll have to wait and find out. 3.5 stars to 3 3/4 of a star, flirting with 4, fight of the night. Florio, it's yours.
I'm more with MF's rating on this. I'm going to give it between 3.5 and 4. Fight of the night, absolutely. Really enjoyed the main event. It managed to hold a fairly frenetic pace from start to end, and even though it relied a bit too much on finishers, it was easy to overlook just due to the star power and entertainment value. John Cena sure is taking a lot of pins lately. I wonder if there's a heel that would be perfect to get under his skin for it. Seems like a natural fit for him to have a dust-up with The Miz, and we can start that mixed feud. As far as what we saw at the end, well, I guess they couldn't blow off both of their big friendship storylines in 1 week. After what we saw last night with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho as part of the Festival of Friendship. I do like the idea of burning a little slower on this feud, as there is a long time to go until Mania, and they run the risk of blowing it up too early and running out of momentum before they get to Orlando. So don't worry. We're going to get the blow up soon enough. Just not yet. So MF said it best. 3.5. Well, it's 3.5 to 4 for me, but we're all agreed this is the fight of the night. So with that being said, overall review, somebody else please start. I'm not quite ready yet. So whoever wants it first, just do it.
I'll give it to the lady, Dee Dee Woodson. What says you? What did you think about SmackDown Live tonight?
It was a very good show. A lot of storyline progression, very newsworthy. Even the start of a few new feuds coming out of this. So I'm going to give it a 8-star out of 10. And I just hope they keep up the good work and keep up the storyline progressions and having these matches that are actually worth watching and not just to fill time. I mean, we had a lot of good stuff, good material on this week, and I think only one that wasn't even a match that kind of was a throwout. But other than that, I mean, it was a very good show. A lot of good things coming out of it, and making you really look forward to not only next week, but looking ahead to WrestleMania, and and even with the questions from the end of the main event, whether we actually see this diffuse before WrestleMania or not, I don't know. But like you said, there's 6 weeks between now and then, so we could start seeing some cracks. Maybe something will get through to either Orton or Bray, and they'll split. But no matter what, I'm sure we'll figure something out within the next few weeks on what's going to happen there. So I'm heading out. So good night, guys.
All right, Dee Dee, thank you so much. Good night. And Anthony, I'll give it to you.
Yep, see you next week, Dee Dee. And solid 8 out of 10 for me as well. I agree with everything Dee Dee said on that. Main event, clear fight of the night, no doubt about it. The second best match, of course, Mickie James and Becky Lynch, and then rounding out the top 3 was the Alphas and the Ascension. Strongly recommend the main event. I also recommend Mickie James and Becky Lynch. The only things I really cannot, in good conscience, recommend rather, the stuff that, I mean, unless you like that Ambrose bump that he took from Corbin, don't bother with that. That whole thing with Ellsworth and Carmella and all that. But no, other than that, I mean, I could just say, try to go out of your way to watch this show, because SmackDown Live continues to be the A show, as much as it pains me to say it because I'm a Raw guy, but it is what it is. So SmackDown Live continues to be the more consistent show, even though, let's admit, Monday Night Raw is turning the corner. They're turning the corner, and they've been putting together some great shows as of late, especially last night with that instant classic in that women's title match, and a classic for the ages in Vegas. So now, next week, like I said, we got the ladies taking center stage next week, because we got the Falls Count Anywhere match with Nikki Bella and Natalya, and we also have that women's championship rematch with Naomi and Alexa Bliss. So Ontario, California, get ready. That's all I can say on that, because and don't forget Raw at Staples on Monday night. So a lot of things to look forward to for next week as we continue on the road. Well, Raw has to continue on the road to Fastlane, whereas SmackDown is fully on the road to WrestleMania now that they got their pay-per-view out of the way. So onward and upward to the City of Angels in Ontario, California next week. So solid 8 out of 10 for me. MF, your overall thoughts, if you have them?
Yeah, no, 8 out of 10 is my rating for tonight's show. I thought they did a really good job. They did a very solid job in hammering down what they needed to hammer down. A nice little fallout from Elimination Chamber, and you got already a couple of fights already set it up for the next show. I mean, you got the Falls Count Anywhere fight, a guaranteed women's title fight, and then you got other storylines that needs to be progressing. The Intercontinental storyline between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, and then what's going to be the fallout now with the WWE title. Cena and AJ are now, you can legitimately say they're now out of the picture. It looks like Luke Harper might be next in line for the title, and then you also got now, what is the ramifications of Randy Orton now kind of refusing to fight Bray Wyatt in the main event of WrestleMania? What's that gonna play out? We got a lot to talk about next week on SmackDown, to say the very least. So, with that said, the only news I got is Ring of Honor stuff. We had 4 matches that went down this week, that went down on this week's episode. First episode, Adam Page went up against Matt Sales. Adam Page won that match. The second fight we had, and this one was really good. This was a really good match. It was Jay Lethal and Bobby Fish versus Adam Cole and Cody Rhodes in a tag team fight. Jay Lethal and Bobby Fish won the match. Of the night we had was Sal. Sal, he went one-on-one with Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe got the fight, won the fight, and then after the fight, Shane Taylor and Keith Lee jumped the Briscoes. This was a complete and utter attack out of nowhere. Nobody saw this coming. This was a beatdown, and this could be the next brawl in the tag team division for the Ring of Honor division. Then this was a really good 6-man fight. Caprice Coleman, Kenny King, and Rex Titus, the Rebellion, went up against Dalton Castle and the Boys. The winner of the bout was the Rebellion. Part to Colt Cabana for interference. He ran interference at the end of the fight. My overall rating for this, 7 out of 10. I thought this was a very good show, very solid. And next week on Ring of Honor Wrestling, Wrestling. We got the Beer City Bruiser versus Bull James. We do have a handicap match, Cole Cabana against the boys. But the third fight of the night is the most important one. This one's going to be awesome. The finals of the Decades of Excellence tournament. The winner of the bout goes and fights Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title at the RWA 08 anniversary show, which is set up in Las Vegas. I believe it's in May or June, and it is going to be the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels versus Jay Briscoe. The winner of that fight gets to fight Adam Cole, baby, for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. So that's it. We're done. That's our show. All right, so Friday night is another edition of Strictly Sports. Anthony hit us up with the lineup. Anthony, I want to make an executive call here. I know you got to run this by Derek, but after the news that broke out earlier today from the National Hockey League about Claude Julien being the new head coach of the Montreal Canadiens, I want to get something off my chest out of anything else, because for Miguel Therrien to get fired and for Julien to be the new coach, I got a lot to say about this, and trust me, it's not going to be a good thing. I am not happy about this call.
Yeah, I agree. It does need to be addressed. You're absolutely right. And Derek posted it on his Facebook earlier. I'm going to respond to it, and hopefully we'll get a response from him sometime during the week. And as soon as I do, I'll let you know. We have a small docket for Friday night as it is, talking about Villanova, if they should be, the projected overall number 1 seed right now, the sad and sudden passing of Fab Melo. We're going to preview the NBA All-Star Weekend, especially the All-Star Saturday night, and recap the UFC 208, which I know you went to CMF with
Yes,
Alex.
I did.
Up at the Buffalo Wild Wings last Saturday night. And then we'll close it out with our NBA Power Rankings. And so I'm going to get it to Derek right now. And I agree, it should be addressed on Strictly Sports Friday night. If it was up to me, I would say, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So I'll get back to you as soon as I hear anything. So
all right.
As of right now, it's a yes for me, but we have to run it by Derek, though.
Yeah, of course. And of course, then on Monday night, Anthony Florio hosts the Ridiculously Raw Monday Night Raw 205 Live, and he also got TNA stuff. And then come right back here 1 week from tonight for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, Smackdown Live. If there's any other news, either from RWA or from Ring of Honor, because Lucha Underground is not coming back until the summer, and trust me, recognizing in some pain right now with that one, but we'll wait and see what happens. So until then, good night, everybody. For Anthony Florio, for Didi Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. You know the routine. Hugs and hand pounds. I hope you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Until then, we out. Have a good night. So long for now.